What's up, everybody? It's Rafe West. Um, in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about. Um, I wanted to make a comparison between what I call the lost decade, and the decade of dark years. Now, um, Bill Gates, um, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, um, Bill Gates. He had a decade without a day off. They call it I think Bill Gates' dark years. And sometimes the opposite of that is when you've done very little or a lot of average stuff. Okay, a lot of average stuff, which is the lost decade. And I feel like that's how my life has been a little bit, the lost decade. And I mean, I wasn't doing bad stuff, but Um, like I knew about things like self-improvement back then, um, self-improvement, investing, mindset, things like that. But I call it the last decade because, I'm kind of philosophical sometimes, so I think about these things. And as you can see from my channel, some of it is like lottery systems, but then some of it is like this personal development theme also. So, Um, imagine having a decade without a day off, which is what Bill Gates did, and now he's harvesting, you know, enjoying the fruits of his labor, changing the world also. And then you have the lost decade, which I think is what most people do, even for more than that, right? And what I mean by that is why I call it the lost decade for me is like I wasn't in jail or anything like that, but I missed, like I knew these things. I started on the whole personal development thing with Anthony Robbins, reading. I knew the importance of reading, and I didn't stick to it back in the day. So then I did what most people do, and this is cool. This is not to knock on people. It was very average. Now, there's nothing wrong with having fun, but most people they go in 9 to 5, whatever it is that they do. They go home. Some people drink like a six pack every night. Some men, TGIF is the mindset. They go, they imbibe some more, things like that. And they complain. They have time to complain, which means they also have time to do these other things and do something about it. So, um, I like to laugh about Bitcoin. Like during that lost decade, how did I miss Bitcoin in 011? Had I not missed that, um, you know, things would be on the super up and up. But and it's not to dwell on those things because we are where we are. I like to say, you know, we are where we are. So the best time to plant a tree was this was a Chinese proverb that said the best time to plant a tree was 2 decades ago. The next best time to plant one is now. So for all of you who've experienced this lost decade or maybe this lost lifetime, by not doing the things that we knew there was something, but I think the reason why I stopped for a while and I took a hiatus from it, I didn't write it all off as, oh, this is BS, personal development and all that. You get caught up in the busyness of life. People around you are not supportive about that kind of stuff. A lot of people have the mindset of, oh, that's a scam. They just want your money. And you notice how average people or below average people, they always think about money. And the rich and the successful people think about assets. Big difference there. They think about that, and sometimes they go and chase that and only that, by either like playing the lotto, having 3 gigs, things like that. And you will never attain that if you don't shift your mindset a little bit. So, for all of you who are experiencing, don't get caught up in this lost decade way of thinking because it's a little bit painful. You can turn it around, but the sooner you turn it around, the better. Get back into reading, kind of like don't follow the herd because that herd mentality, sometimes all you have to do is do the opposite of what other people are doing. I like to use other people. People could still be nice people. I'm not saying this in a bad way that people who just go to their gig, TGIF mentality, imbibe every evening, almost every evening, things like that. What I'm saying is, what I like to do is use, and you folks should do this as well, use those people as a barometer. Um, for example, when there's news that the stock market is crashing, the average person will say, "Oh, hey guys, your 401k is crashing. You better cash out." They don't understand volatility, something they've never looked into. It hasn't really been taught in school, so they don't understand that. Or chasing money. Chasing money. What I mean by chasing money is trading your time for money. There's only so much. There's like a cap. You can never go like beyond that. So you really have to put money to work for you. Um, the wealthy are always moving money around, things like that. Um, you know, the average person is afraid of loss, any kind of loss. They say, "Oh, I'm not going to lose that," but yet they'll go and buy a pair of Nike Air Jordans, that cost several $100s. Things that depreciate, but they don't see that as a loss. They don't remember that inflation is working against you, so you're already losing. So that's why you should try to put your money to work for you. So all these little mindset shifts, you know. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I wanted to explain my lost decade where I lived like that a large part of the time. Average person going in, coming home, not reading ever, TGIF mentality, um, imbibing, only that. That was the social thing at home, um, you know, and then I shouldn't complain then, you know, I shouldn't complain. And so I use people as a barometer. For example, I was just having a talk with someone. How do you know when Bitcoin is going to boom? No, how do you know when the FOMO, the fear of missing out, is going to come into BTC? And I said, just listen to people around you, coworkers, people like that who've never even mentioned cryptocurrency. When all of a sudden they start mentioning it, that's when the FOMO has arrived. And that's when you should um, maybe be thinking of taking some profits off the table. Um, you know, you can just gauge it off people who choose to be average. You can gauge it, gauge a lot of things, and do the contrary. And also, a lot of people have the mindset, oh, that's a scam. This is a scam. That's a scam. From what I know, wealthy people, for example, use debt for stuff that can either make them more money or invest in themselves. Poor people use debt to buy more stuff that depreciates usually, So that's just a little thought there on my lost decade, which has been over. Um, and we are where we are. I can't go back and say I wish it was over sooner. I mean, I do wish it was over sooner. I don't know what happened. I just got caught up in that, you know, average way of thinking. And I'm still careful these days who I listen to, and I'm very attuned to what was, if you're not careful, you could get the wrong information input into your brain. So anyway, those are my thoughts. You guys tell me what's better, the dark years or the lost decade, and if you have had any experience like that, which side would you rather be on? Are you having trouble getting out of the lost decade side? Um, if you want to get lost out of the dark year side and do that, that's fine. That's on you. But let me know what you guys think about this. Um, and hopefully you're liking my channel. Um, this is kind of like personal development, personal growth talk. This is Rafi West. Until next time. All right, everybody. Take care. Peace.